Do you feel like you can't stick to healthy eating no matter how hard you try? If you've ever said to yourself, I know what I need to do in order to eat healthy, but I just can't actually do it. If you're able to eat healthy for a few days, but then you just can't keep it up long term, you are not alone. I'm a nutritionist and I hear this from so many of the clients I work with. They feel like they have no willpower or no discipline, but actually the problem is not them. It's the methods that they are trying to put in place. They're all wrong. And it's not their fault because it's the strategies that they've been taught. Much like probably you think you're doing everything right now when actually you aren't. So here's why you can't stick to healthy eating, and here's why it's not your fault. And of course, what to do instead. Why willpower isn't the problem. We actually give willpower way too much credit when it comes to eating well. So many times I have clients telling me, if I had more discipline, if I had more willpower, if I could just be more consistent, then everything would fall into place and I would eat healthy. The thing about willpower is that it's not just this infinite resource you can just tap into. It gets drained like a battery. And if every day you're getting up, you didn't get a good night's sleep, you're running on low sleep, you're very stressed because of work, you have screaming kids, you skipped your breakfast because you didn't want to prioritize it, and then you have to deal with making healthy food choices on top of that, you're not going to be able to do so. That's not you failing, that's just biology. If you are well rested, well fueled, well fed, and happy and satisfied, it's gonna be much easier to make the right food choices. And so I have so many clients coming to me and telling me, I'm the problem, I'm so lazy, I'm so unmotivated, I can't commit to anything, when in reality, it's just their bodies trying to protect them. If they're not giving their bodies enough energy, their bodies are going to reclaim that energy. The people that are able to eat well in a consistent manner aren't people who have more willpower or discipline. It's people who are able to put in place systems that actually serve them. They eat regular meals, they cook things that they actually enjoy. They make mealtime a mindful experience where they're entirely focused on their meal and they don't let themselves get too hungry or too full. So instead of constantly thinking, why can't I control myself? Try to switch it around and ask yourself, how can I support myself better? So what's actually going on is that you probably started from a place of desperation. Because yeah, most people don't start healthy eating from a place of calm. They start because they feel like something is wrong. They start because they feel like they absolutely have to lose this weight in only a few days, or else they've tried things that don't work, they keep doing things that don't work, and they decide that now, this time, it's gonna work. So they're gonna do the same thing, but this time they're gonna do it with a bunch of willpower and be very, very hard on themselves and be very, very strict in what they eat, meaning not much. And the problem of starting in a place of desperation is that you're not in a place to make so sustainable changes because you want to lose weight right now. You want those immediate results because you've already waited too long. You're chasing fast results, and fast usually means extreme. You're also probably not eating enough. Now, this is really a huge one, probably one of the main reasons why you feel like you can't stick to healthy eating. I see so many people who tell me that they try to eat so good. They do intermittent fasting, so they skip their breakfast, and then for lunch they only eat a salad. They push through the entire day with low energy, low nutrients, and they are thinking, obsessing over food. And so when dinner finally comes, instead of eating the little broccoli and rice and chicken meal plan that they have, they end up binging on pizza and ice cream. That is not lack of willpower. That is your body trying to compensate for the lack of energy because you are not giving it enough energy. It is then going to crave energy, and it's not going to crave energy in complicated forms like in sweet potatoes or whole grains. It's going to want the quick energy, the quick sugar boost that you're able to find in processed foods. Again, this is not failure. This is just biology. You are dealing with cognitive restriction. The thing with restriction is that most of the time it is physical, meaning you want to eat something, you tell yourself you shouldn't be eating it, you don't eat it, and then you're restricting. But that's not the only type of restriction that exists. There's also this type of cognitive restriction where you are going to tell yourself that you can't have a food, really build that up in your mind, and then you're gonna end up actually eating the food because you can't do it anymore. You have to eat it. So you eat it, but while you eat it, you feel all these feelings of guilt and shame and telling yourself that you shouldn't be doing that you don't have willpower, that you are a bad person, that you're failing, all of this. And so while you're physically eating the food, so physically you're not restricting, mentally you're still telling yourself how bad all of this is. And so mentally, you're not even enjoying the food you're eating. You're not even focusing on what it's bringing you. You're not letting yourself enjoy it. And therefore, it is not bringing you the benefits that it would if you were to just let yourself enjoy it. And so your body is not really getting the benefits that this food would bring you. And the benefits of this food would be satisfying your cravings and fueling your soul and just making sure that you're eating foods that satisfy you and make you feel good. And so you're not getting any of that. In its place, you're getting all the guilt and shame. And so you need to eat more and more and more in order to feel the satisfaction that you're craving. And if you had just let yourself enjoy the food in the first place, you would have been satisfied with only a little bit. You're stuck in the guilt cycle. Guilt is one of the main things that will keep you in this cycle of wanting to do well and be disciplined, and then eating something that's bad, feeling guilty about it, and then starting the cycle again. If you eat something that you've labeled as bad, that you've said that you're not supposed to be eating, then you feel like the whole day is ruined. So you start thinking, well, I just ate this one cookie, might as well finish the entire box. And well, I had some veggies planned for dinner, but since I ate this one cookie, might as well have pizza. And oh yeah, might as well finish with ice cream, and I'll just do better tomorrow. This is the all or nothing mentality. If you want to learn to get out of it, watch the video I made about it right here. You really need to understand that food is not a test. It's not like every time you have to make a choice, there's a right choice and a wrong choice. And if you make the wrong choice, you're a bad person with no discipline. You're eating what your body was telling you to eat in that moment. You should feel no guilt around that, no shame around that. You're just a human eating food, that's it. There's no value, moral, whatever attached to that. And it's so important to learn to let go of that guilt, because the more you drown in this guilt, the less room you have to actually listen to your body's cues, to your body telling you, I want this, I want that, I'm hungry, I'm not hungry, because you're so busy feeling guilty about your food choices. Letting go of guilt doesn't mean that you don't care and that you can suddenly eat whatever without any second thought about it. No, but it means putting yourself in the conditions where you can actually listen to what your body has to say. Now here is the mindset shift that will change everything if you're able to have it. If you can't stick to something, instead of thinking that you are the problem, that you are lazy, that you don't have willpower, that you lack discipline, you need to shift the problem around and understand that the problem isn't you, but it's actually the approach that you're trying to have. The approach is not working. That's it. You don't need to try to push harder. You don't need to try to build your discipline and willpower and whatever. You just need to switch it up. Find something that actually supports you. And most importantly, find something that will help you work with your body instead of against it. Healthy eating should not feel like this constant battle where you always have to go against your desires. If that's what's happening, then that's a sign that the method is too extreme and that your rules are too rigid and that it's just not going to work. So really take a moment to ask yourself, am I currently working with my body or against it? Because you'll see that if you start working with your body, if you start giving your body the energy it needs, the nutrient it needs, the satisfaction it needs, and actually listening to everything that it's telling you, there will be no resistance. You'll stop obsessing over food. You'll get out of the fight or flight. You will start to actually be able to listen to signals that you're getting, and you will be comfortable in doing so. It's not about being perfect immediately. It's about building trust slowly. It's like a parent making impossible rules and then not understanding why their child just can't follow them. If you want a child to succeed, you make the rules manageable, so then you build a relationship of trust. Your child knows the rules are logical and that they can actually adhere to them, and so they don't break them. and they listen to you and you build trust. If your rules are too hard, the child will break the rules. And if your rules are too hard, then your body will break the rules. And it's not to not listen to you, it's because it has to, because it needs energy at the end of the day. If instead the expectations are kind and realistic, then your body will follow along and you will have a win-win relationship. You will build that consistency through trust, not through punishment, just like with kids. Now, part 4, let's talk about what actually helps. Number 1, you need to actually eat enough. You need to eat consistently. This is no surprise. If you've been following me for a while, you know this is probably the number 1 solution to all of your problems. You need to be eating meals that include whole foods. 80%, 70 to 80% whole foods, meaning that you're getting whole grains and you're getting fruit and veggies, you're getting legumes, and you're getting healthy sources of protein, you're getting healthy sources of fats. And then the rest of the foods that you're eating should be foods that fuel your soul, foods that are more treat foods, foods that you're really craving and you're allowing yourself to put in your diet because that's balanced. Try to eat 3 meals a day and snacks if you feel like you need to, so that you're getting energy regularly, and really try not to be hungry throughout the day. If you're hungry, either increase your meal portions or have little snacks. Don't try to eat as little as possible. Make sure that you're eating enough to fuel your entire body and your brain. If you want to know exactly how to do that, check out my video on healthy eating for beginners right here or in the description. Number 2, let go of food guilt. Remember, food is not good or bad. You are not a good or bad person for eating pasta or chocolate. You should aim, of course, to eat mostly nourishing whole foods, but also leave room for joy and flexibility and treats, foods that fuel your soul. It's not just okay to eat these foods, it's actually necessary, including these types of foods that are more, let's say, calorie dense and more processed, foods that maybe bring you a little bit more pleasure. They're actually very necessary for balance. Remember that feeling guilt and shame will make you feel worse about your choices, and when you feel bad about yourself, guess what? You do not make better choices. Number 3, you need to focus on small habits. You do not need another big, strict meal plan with a bunch of rules, trying to tell yourself that you're gonna be able to follow every single thing, that if everything is written down, then you're gonna do it. That doesn't work. That's not sustainable. If you do that again, you're gonna fail, not because you lack discipline or willpower, but just because these plans are meant for you to fail. They're meant for you to fail because they're way too complicated to actually do. What actually really works long term is adding things little by little, building momentum, getting yourself excited because you actually see yourself doing what you need to be doing, and then being able to increase everything you do little by little. Maybe it's adding a veggie to your lunch. Maybe it's replacing one of the soda cans you have by water. Maybe it's sitting down, taking the time to actually enjoy your meal instead of eating it in 5 seconds. These things will feel small at first, but they hold power in the fact that you can do them easily, realistically, and then keep adding them on, keep building upon that, because they will just integrate seamlessly into your routine. It's not about drastically changing anything overnight. It's about choosing a few habits that you feel that you're going to be able to do, and then building from there, little by little. So, the next time you find yourself thinking that you have no willpower, I want you to pause and ask yourself this instead. What does my body actually need right now? If my body is fighting me, it's probably because I'm not giving it what it needs. You're not broken. You don't need to be harder on yourself. You just need to find a different approach where you're working with your body instead of against it. Stop trying to repeat things that don't work, expecting a different result. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that it was helpful. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like it and subscribe, and see you on my next one. Bye.